Thai authorities have ordered a review of entertainment venue laws and regulations and are stepping up fire safety inspections after a fire tore through a bar in the Thai capital on Sunday night. Investigators say an electrical fault may have sparked the fire in an initial assessment. The death toll from the Thai capital's worst blaze in nearly 2 decades has climbed to 30. More than 20 others are in critical condition. But joining us now is Guan Yeo, Professor of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering at University of New South Wales in Sydney. Professor, thank you so much for speaking to us. The Thai Prime Minister has ordered sweeping safety reviews of venues. What really should authorities prioritize now to make their inspections more effective beyond just simply checking whether places comply with the existing rules?
This is a very sad incident because people just don't realize that even within this type of premises or even our homes, there are a lot of combustible materials that needs to be taken care of, and also trying to understand actually how fire can develop and also how fire can engulf the whole premises, and also looking at even signage for proper evacuation, when such fire incidents occur.
Right. And, you mentioned about one aspect of it, having proper signage to lead people during emergency. But for bar and club operators really watching this tragedy unfold right now, what immediate changes would you really recommend that they make to improve fire safety while also longer-term regulatory reviews are underway right now?
So we do know that if the evacuation paths are not blocked, then there is a proper passage for evacuees to actually escape the premises. But if there are pathways that are constantly blocked or they are not properly investigated or properly maintained, then people in a state of chaos, would try to go to areas where they can escape the fire. And that is what happened during the fire incident in Bangkok.
Right. Talking about decorative materials, usually pubs and clubs, they have lots of decorative materials, signages and boards up there. And early reports in this particular tragedy really points to possible issues around such decorative materials. What much can design choices really influence how quickly a fire really spreads in bars and restaurants?
So decorative materials are not flame retardant. All of us know that. But I would like to allude to actually another material, that is the acoustic foams in the ceiling, because I see a lot of very similar incident that actually occurred in the bar in Switzerland just last year. So acoustic foams are very flammable in the ceiling. So if a fire starts from anywhere within the premises itself, it can quickly spread into the foams. And people don't realize that once the smoke develops below the ceiling, the temperature can reach very high and the acoustic foam starts to degrade and eventually ignite and burns and propagate. So this is something that I believe that could be one of the primary cause of the untenable situation fire that has occurred. And I think that somehow, things need to be looked more in depth, actually, how to protect these materials from burning. So in addition to the decorative materials.
Right. And your own research has really focused on new fire safety technologies. Which of these could really make the biggest difference in reducing the risk of fires in entertainment venues?
So one of our technology here is that if you can have essentially a fire retardant, even a fire retardant coating to be sprayed across these materials themselves, that could be actually one of the ways that perhaps we can slow down the materials being burning, and also giving more time for evacuees to to evacuate or to actually escape from the premises. So some fire protection barrier or coating that could be easily applied could be one of the possible ways, or somehow some protective shield that can be even put in to actually have a barrier between the fire and any flammable materials could be another option.
And bars are really designed to be low lit, as you mentioned earlier. But from a fire safety perspective, what lessons do you think should the industry really take from the past incidents? You earlier mentioned about the New Year's Day Swiss Resort fire incident as well.
Yeah, so I think that fire regulars need to actually now understand that in a premise like a club, there are things that can really happen, without, even just a very simple um, igniter, being put in the bar, and there are a lot of alcohols there. I think that we just need to make sure that whatever combustible materials there, they need to be inspected, they need to be fire protected, and whatever proper signage for people to evacuate needs to be maintained at all costs. Because without this, then all you have is a state of chaos, and people will start to panic, and people will start to essentially not thinking straight of what to do. Okay. And it's just even in the Bangkok incident itself, when you see that people actually do go to the toilets, the toilets are even windowless. So this is just a cause for, for people that could be could suffer from the smoke inhalation. And effectively, that is what mainly the cause of death anyway, to all these people that were in that club itself.
Yeah, many times we travel and want to really chill at nightlife spots, but what should we really consider when walking into an unfamiliar venue to be better prepared for an emergency like this? When's really the time to walk out?
I think that if you don't see any proper signage, that will be the first thing in your mind to be careful. And if you do go to the toilets, they are windowless, just don't attend the club. I think you just walk away, because you're just asking for a fire to occur and a fire disaster to happen.
All right, thank you so much for that tip over there. Thanks so much. Guan Yeoh, Professor of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering at University of New South Wales in Sydney, speaking to us.